The waters around the Lummi Reservation have stood the test of time. The water has seen the trials of the Lummi people.
Oh, he loved the water. Yeah, he grew up on the water. Hi, my name's Joseph Morris, and I've lost 4 family members in the last few years with fentanyl.
Joe has lived on the Lummi Reservation most of his life, a life impacted by addiction.
His name was Lindy. Yeah.
Fentanyl took the life of Joe's brother, Lindy.
The water was his oyster. He loved fishing.
Lindy's love of water was strong, but his addiction to fentanyl was stronger.
We had a really good relationship until he got into his addiction.
Fentanyl is highly addictive. It is 50 times more potent than heroin. It is cheap, it is easy to buy, and it is tearing the Lummi tribe apart. There's evidence of the crisis all throughout the town. Back in September, 4 Lummi tribal members died of fentanyl overdoses in just one deadly week. Joe's brother Lindy was one of those 4.
He lived a real rough life.
Joe knows recovery is hard.
I was a drug dealer. I lived as a drug dealer. I went to prison in '09.
Joe was a cocaine dealer. He says he got life-changing help from God.
It'll be 15 years this Christmas.
Now he works as a peer counselor with Lummi Counseling Services. The crisis is so profound, the Lummi opened a treatment facility, the New Life Center, dedicated to opioid addiction.
When one person is affected by fentanyl, it affects the whole community.
Dina Point, Joe's wife, is interim director of the program.
We used to be shocked when there was an overdose, and now it feels like it's just like, oh, there's another overdose.
Resources on the reservation, that's what can make all the difference. Adding not only therapy and medication, but culture to the recovery process.
You need that to heal. You need that to be whole.
The center has a culture teacher and a culture room where people can reconnect with their heritage.
This is what our ancestors did.
Dina knows this is important. She says culture in this culture room saved her life.
I lost my daughter to spinal meningitis, and that was the perfect way for me to cope with that loss. And so that's when I fell into that cycle of addiction.
Dina was addicted to OxyContin for more than 13 years.
This program right here is what saved my life. My culture saved my life. My children saved my life.
The pull of fentanyl is so strong, it's torn some people away from families and away from their homes. Dozens of Lummi are now living just outside of the reservation in an encampment for the homeless, nicknamed Little Lummi.
That right there shows you the power of fentanyl, because we've never had our people actually leave the reservation and go be homeless to feed their habit, their addiction.
Dina's team says there are 4 to 8 overdoses in the encampment every single day.
It's a choice of life and death, really.
Lummi tribal member Jade Ridley was at the camp when an outreach worker asked if she wanted help at the New Life Center.
So I took my opportunity and came.
After a 10-year fentanyl addiction, she took the step for herself and her child. The day we talked to her, she said she'd been sober for a week.
It's exhausting being out on the streets, and I just want my life back, basically, I guess. I want my daughter back.
This month, the tribe took their crisis from Washington State to Washington, D.C.
These impacts of fentanyl and opioids at home have been very drastic and very overwhelming.
The Lummi chairman urged congressional leaders to declare the fentanyl epidemic a national emergency.
There's so many different pieces to this, but if we start with the highest level possible, that the United States of America declares this a national emergency, I believe that we can overcome a lot of the barriers that we're facing.
To fully understand this crisis, you have to go back in time to the historical and generational trauma Indigenous people have endured.
You're healing from, they used to say 7 generations back, say when we lost our culture and lost our language,
Rosalie Scott has lived on the reservation for 80 years and has worked in recovery services for 50.
There was about 600 people back in the day when I was growing up. There was just alcohol then.
You saw how alcohol impacted people. How is fentanyl different?
I feel like it's a worse problem. It's scary. Don't know how to reach them. How do we reach our people to bring them back?
But don't underestimate the people of the sea. The Lummi. For millennia, they've shown their strength and resilience. And this time is no different.
It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take the community to do it, but we can do it.
It's so devastating, the loss there. So you talked about them opening that new life center in April. Do they have other plans in the works?
Joyce, the Lummi really are leaders in fighting this type of fentanyl crisis when it comes to creating resources. The Lummi also plan to add a new permanent detox center since their new life center is often full. The chairman said they have already raised about $15 million to make that happen, but still need $12 million more.
Wow. Great story.
Thank you.
Thank you.